Hi, more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Here we are in the SEC Country studios, having a great time. It's a little gray outside. It's still raining. Been raining for 3 days. That's okay. It's not gray in here. I've got my beautiful Mississippi State of Mississippi polo on from Maroon & Company. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about Jim Schlossnagle, the head coach at TCU, possibly the new head coach at Mississippi State. Still kind of waiting to hear on that. I think we'll be waiting for a couple of more days before anything concrete comes out of that. Absolutely a big-time hire could be coming in baseball for Mississippi State. To talk about that, we'll turn to Brian Haydad of Bulldogs Sports Radio, good friend of mine, good friend of yours, a good Bulldog. We'll talk to him about Mississippi State baseball and maybe some other things today, maybe a quick 2-minute drill for him. We'll also talk about the baseball coaching search and the regional coming up this week. We'll discuss Mississippi State baseball, what all is facing the Bulldogs right now. And at the end of the show, we're going to go ahead and finish this show with a bang. As we go out in June, as we end our run on SEC Country on June 30th, I'm going to give you as much Jack Crystal as I can possibly give you. We'll have a shot of Jack at the end of the show because he's the best that ever did it, and we will do it. Bonnie Williamson-Gable says, good morning, Brandon. Hello, Bonnie, down in Gulf Breeze, Florida. Hello, Jeremiah Boddy and Amber K. Thank you for being here. Got my beautiful Maroon & Company polo here. Hail State from Eddyville, Kentucky, Josh Crumpton. Everybody's asking why I only have the one bell on the desk here. I took all my bells home. I took my bells and went home. Nate, what are you doing? That's fantastic. Fantastic. Hello, Jeremiah Boddy. Bill Hurt says the kid's in the house. Well, that's good. Thank you for being here. Amanda Dunaway Walker's here. Beautiful Amanda Dunaway Walker. Brandon, what is the name of your new Facebook page? Because I cannot find it. It says Owen Hines. Owen, it is pinned to the top of the comments section. Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. If you guys will click at the very top of the comment section, you can see the new Facebook page for the new show. It is right there. Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. Hike from Clay County, Hale State. Willie Harris says this is the best show going. Thank you, Willie Harris in Starkville and Columbus. Carol Watson, Meridian, Mississippi, checking in. Hello, Meridian. I love Meridian. If there's one thing you can say about Brandon Walker, it's that I love Meridian, Mississippi. I love Weidman's. I love Nick and Al's. I love 22nd Street. I love all of it. I love Ray Stadium. Go Meridian. Hail State from Orange County, California, Ed Casilla. Bobby Toomey from Point City. Good to see the Clay County Correctional Facility has internet this morning. Hail State from Gulfport. Hello, Guy Dossett. Thanks, Guy, for being here. So, yeah, we're going to talk to Brian Haydad about Mississippi State baseball, about Mississippi State football, about everything Mississippi State. We're going to have fun with our good friend Brian Haydad. Mark Williams is in Lake Caroline. Ike Hike says this show is the bomb. Jared Mansour says you were talking about folks getting shot yesterday when it came to Meridian. I was not. I didn't say that. No, I didn't. I said when the flu season comes up, you can go to Meridian and get a flu shot. That's what I said. Unbelievable, Jared. Unbelievable that you would cast aspersions on me like that. Hail State from Eastern New Mexico. Hello, Jeremy Dees. Brian, Joni, Braden, Glenn from, I missed where I missed where they were from. Sorry, it's going very fast. Hail State from Asheville, North Carolina. Bob Giles. William Calcode in Tupelo. Hail State from Pittsburgh, home of your beloved Steelers, says Augie Yarkowski. Excuse me, Augie. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do not like the Steelers. Not a Steelers guy. I'm not familiar with Schlossnagle. Can you give a history? Blake Moore. Blake, he has 700 career wins. He's won 68% of his games in his career. He coached 2 seasons at UNLV. He turned that into a gig at TCU. At TCU, I believe he's won 9 conference championships. I believe he's gone to the College World Series 5 times, including the last 4 years. He has won 70% of his games at TCU. He's turned that program from and also ran into one of the best college baseball programs in the country. And now he could be coming to Mississippi State. That's just a little bit of what I know. Hail State from Shreveport, Adrian Page. Don Morgan in Ackerman, Mississippi. Home of Pap's Place. Actually, is Pap's Place still there? Pap's Place in Ackerman, Mississippi. They don't rob you. They just feed your belly. Is that still there in downtown Ackerman? Toby Denton says, Hail State from Meridian, out here dodging bullets. I love Meridian. It's a beautiful town. Beautiful town in Lauderdale County, Mississippi. Good morning, Brandon. Bobby Richardson. Good morning, Steve C. Yes, it is. Pabst Place still open. Wow. Pabst Place had those awful commercials back when I was at Starkville back in the early 2000s. Just terrible commercials. So bad they were good. So bad that they were memorable and good. And Pabst Place, I've been there to eat. I will not lie to you. I've gone to Ackerman for the express reason to eat at Pabst Place. Hello, Cameron Watts. Thanks for being here. Hello, Jessica M. Bosley. You know how I know you're lying? Nobody loves Meridian, says Jay Hammers. Wayman Hodge says they still have those commercials. That's amazing. That is amazing. All right, 11:52. I think we're here where we need to be. We're gonna have Brian Haydad on the show. Nate, we're gonna have Brian Haydad at the top of the show. So as soon as we go into the show, let's get him on there. Terp, you got my Facebook graphic and all that? I just want my Facebook graphic on the screen if I can have it. And that's our new, right there on the bottom of the screen, facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. Nothing, SEC Country has been a tremendous home for us. SEC Country going away, but we're going to continue this show. And if you'd like to continue following me and this show, we're going to be doing the show just like this every day on facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. So please, if you haven't liked it, go like it right now or later, whenever. Just like it, please. The kids got to eat. All right. Crystal White says she loves Meridian. I do too, Crystal. Big fan of Meridian. Used to live in Meridian for 2 years. Lived on Causeyville Road. Yeah, it was nice. All right, Nate, you ready? Let's start this podcast.
It's the More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, Brandon Walker, More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Thanks for being here. A little quick note, Jay Langston, who produced that incredible intro for me, and of all the Mississippi State podcasts, all the team podcasts in all the world, I have the best intro music. And I have it because of a fan named Jay Langston. He did it for me. It's incredible. I talked to Jay yesterday. Jay is going to craft my new entrance music for my new show, which is coming very soon. Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. Like that page and check that out because this show will continue. I'm going to keep going. We're going to keep doing what we can. We're going to keep having fun. We're going to keep entertaining Mississippi State fans. Right now, we're on SEC Country. We're having a good time in the SEC Country studios. I got Nate. I got Terp. I don't know where Landshark is. She's not here today. Actually, she put Hottie Toddy on the screen yesterday, so I should say that I made her not come into work today. I banished her from the show. That's what we'll go with. She was not allowed to be here today. She is suspended, even though she's not. Hail State from Hazelhurst, Michael Claiborne. Thanks for being here. Or Michael Clyburn, excuse me. Thank you for being here. So on today's show, we're going to have Brian Haydad of Bulldog Sports Radio. We're going to talk Mississippi State sports. We're going to talk about Jim Schlossnagle. And then we'll have a shot of Jack at the end of the show. Let's get right to it. Let me go ahead and tell you quickly. This shirt I'm wearing right now, got it from Maroon & Company, Highway 12 in Starkville. Also this cup right here, Maroon & Company, Highway 12 in Starkville. Fantastic place, maroonandco.com. At Maroon & Co. on Twitter. Incredible place. You'll get lost on that website. You'll get lost in that store. I love it. I spend hours there when I come home. And, hey, might be home soon, so maybe I'll see you there. Now let's get to Brian Haydad. Brian Haydad runs Bulldog Sports Radio. He hosts a show called The B&B Show on there. You could have heard me on The B&B Show a couple of days ago. We all always have a good time. He's a good friend of mine, and I just wanted to bring him in as this show is running out, so I'm playing the greatest hits. Welcome to the show, Brian Haydad.
Thanks for having me on. Sorry I missed your call earlier. I was too busy rehashing a tired narrative of a story that everybody already knows the end to.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We are going to get to that, as that is a very interesting thing that has happened today. Because God knows that horse needs to be beaten far beyond its death. It's been dead.
Been reanimated. It's a zombie horse at this point.
It's been dead for 2 years. But let's. You know what my favorite part of that is? I'm just going to start in on it. You know what my favorite part of this is, Brian? And we're talking about a story that came out today from Stephen Godfrey and a video series from Stephen Godfrey about Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and he's trying to tie Mississippi State into the Ole Miss NCAA fiasco. But you know what my absolute favorite part is, Brian Haydad?
Tell me.
Stephen Godfrey and the other media journalists, the other guys around Ole Miss, all they're trying to be right now is Steve Robertson. That's it. They're trying to be him. He did this last year. He made money on this last year. He exposed the story last year, and now, a year later, they all want to be him. And they've done nothing but hate on him. They've done nothing but condemn him. They've done nothing but make fun of him, and that's all they want to be is him.
That's a very accurate assessment, in my opinion. Steve struck while the iron was hot. He got out in front of everybody. He was first to market.
Because he wasn't scared to report it, because he was actually reporting the news instead of hiding the news.
Yeah. It's just, I actually stayed up last night and watched the entire documentary, and I mean, it really just felt like a rehash of the Ole Miss narrative that we've heard since day one. And I was disappointed, because I really thought it might be a chance to break through and be a little more fair and balanced. But I felt like it was hard on MSU. I felt, put it that way.
You know,
there was a comment on there from one of the SB Nation. I don't know her name, Elena Bergeron, I think, who said the Egg Bowl rivalry is old money versus no money. There's a part in there where they're talking about the two schools. They talk about Ole Miss and antebellum this and beautiful campus that, and then they talk about Starkville, and they go to a drone shot of Highway 82 right by the University Motel, the absolute worst place in Starkville you could put a picture of. So,
well, you are either a better or worse person than me, because much like The Blind Side, I'm not watching that. I'm never going to watch it.
I had some morbid curiosity. I wanted to check it out.
I am impressed that they were able to get so many SB Nation experts. It really shows you they canvassed the area and canvassed the entire South to find people that were unbiased.
They talked to a lot of people. The only person from MSU or the MSU side, I think they talked to, was Steve, and that interview was held outside the stadium in the junction prior to the Egg Bowl. You know, like Neil McCready got the sit-down treatment. Steve Robertson did not.
No, I don't guess he did. But anyway, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to pay attention to it. But my second favorite part of all this is it does have State fans riled up. Naturally. I mean, they're talking about Mississippi State.
Yeah.
It has Ole Miss fans riled up because somebody's kind of come to the defense. But nationally, nothing. Nobody cares.
Yeah. That's what I made a point to a friend of mine earlier. You know, I don't know about you, Brandon, but on my time on Twitter, I follow just about every relevant college football reporter, and I have not seen anybody talking about this other than these people who work for SB Nation.
Mississippi State baseball is on the verge of a possible home run hire. Jim Schlossnagle is the name that's out there the most. It is the name that has kind of risen above the fray. There have been some great names out there, but I know you have your own show, and you probably said this plenty of times, but tell me about your excitement level on Jim Schlossnagle, the TCU coach.
It would be high. I mean, this is a guy who had been to, prior to this past season, had been to 4 straight College World Series. I mean, you think about Mississippi State. Mississippi State has been to 9 College World Series in its history, and this guy has been to 4 straight. Today's college baseball climate, that's pretty impressive. And before anybody says, well, he has never won one. Well, Skip Berman went to 5 before he won one. Kevin O'Sullivan, I think, went to 5 before he won one. I mean, if you just keep getting there, eventually things are going to go your way. That's what almost happened for Mississippi State in 2013. State wasn't the second-best team in the country for most of that season. They got hot at the right time. So my excitement level would be pretty high. He's obviously a very good coach, very good recruiter, has has been a consistent winner at a program. I mean, TCU is not Texas. It's not Texas A&M. It's not a traditional powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination. But he's turned it into one. So that said, Brandon, as our friend Steve Robertson likes to say, the hay is not all in the barn just yet. I mean, I think that Schlossnagle is probably your odds-on favorite right now, but nothing, to my knowledge, is set in stone.
No, I don't think it's set in stone either, but that doesn't mean I can't irresponsibly assume that it's going to be Schlossnagle. This is my show, Brian.
Fair enough.
So let me just ask you one more question about that. If it were Jim Schlossnagle, all right, if it were, let's just assume that it is.
Sure.
Mississippi State would then have Jim Schlossnagle, Ben Howland, and Schaefer, Vic Schaefer at women's basketball. Setting aside Joe Moorhead for a second, the Big Four sports, you would be talking about a coach who has been top 5 in his profession in 3 of those sports. Vic Schaefer, absolutely a top 5 coach right now. Ben Howland has been a top 5 coach in his career and could be headed back there, frankly. Jim Schlossnagle, you could make a very good argument he's one of the top 5 coaches in college baseball. Mississippi State has never, ever, ever had that kind of coaching talent at State at one time. Just think about that for a second. That's all I ask you to do.
I've considered it. It's very exciting.
See, that's why you're the best right there. That's why you're the best.
I'm not sure about TCU. I think TCU has made it to the championship series, so if that's the case, you've got 3 coaches who have at least played for a national title, and none of them have won it, but they've played for a national title. I agree with your assessment. Obviously, Schaefer is, in all likelihood, the second-best women's basketball coach. May not have a national title, but what he's built at Mississippi State, that was a program that was nothing when he took it over. It was nothing, and he's turned it into, I mean, I would be willing to say, I expect South Carolina to take a much bigger step back this year with Asia Wilson gone than Mississippi State will take losing Victoria Bibby. So, could be the best program in the SEC again this year. Ben Howland, his resume speaks for itself. Not a lot of coaches with 3 straight Final Fours. And he's brought the program back. It looks like this year will be his breakthrough. And then with Schlossnagle, like I said, 4 straight College World Series appearances. I mean, that's what MSU fans want more than anything, Brandon. I think you would agree. State fans want to win a national championship. Obviously, that's the goal, but I think they're just tired of the inconsistency. And if you look at since the 2013 College World Series, where State finishes second, and you think, okay, this program's about to break through. The next year, they don't host a regional. The next season, they have a losing record and miss the SEC tournament. They win the SEC in 16. 2017 was sort of an up-and-down year, and you did enough to get to the Super Regional. And then this year, obviously, you had the off-the-field issues with Canizero and all the distraction of and having to play on the road for the first month. But I think MSU fans just want to see their team sort of back where it was late 80s, early 90s, just a consistent 40-win team, a team that's constantly going to be hosting regionals. That's what they want. They want to see 6, 7 regionals in a row at New Duty Noble Field. The national championship will come if you keep, winning, hosting regionals, hosting super regionals, and getting to Omaha. That's what state fans want, is consistency.
I think the thing I'm most impressed with, whether it's Schlossnagle or McDonald or whoever it is, Cohen took a situation that was bad. It was bad in the beginning of the season. It was awful, and he didn't let it get bad. He didn't let it stay bad. He instead turned it into something possibly incredible. I mean, here you had Andy Canizaro, and you thought you had an up-and-comer as a head coach, and turned out he was just a comer. So you have this guy. You have you had Andy Canizaro. His situation happens, and Cohen turns it into a positive, or at least that's what it looks like. I'm not sure we've ever had an athletic director that could do what Cohen might be about to do. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
You all right, big guy?
Yes, I'm fine. Yeah, normally when you have a coaching search for off the field kind of, let's look at Ole Miss when Freeze has to resign, or however you want to look at that. They spent a whole year of real uncertainty.
Speaking of comers, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, and so on and so forth. And there was, even when they hired Matt Luke, I don't remember there being an outburst of joy from that fan base. Whereas with Mississippi State, very early in the process, John Cohen started telling people, look, State's going to get we're going to get a big-time coach. College World Series experience. Multiple years as a head man. We're not going to settle here. He created a set of expectations that has MSU fans very excited. He has to deliver on that. Nothing is signed yet. But if he is able to deliver on that, I mean, it shows that he's done a really good job in the 2 coaching searches he's been a part of so far.
All right, so we went a little long. I wanted to ask you more questions very briefly before I get to your.
You're talking about comers. Sometimes you will go long.
You're not going to trip me up on my own show. You're going to get your own 2-minute drill very shortly. But last question. Answer this. Yeah. Finish this sentence. I'm Brian Haydad, and the Mississippi State sport I'm most excited about in 2018 is blank.
Men's basketball.
Really? See, I would have thought you would have said football. Men's basketball. Go ahead.
I expect football to be good, but I've sort of gotten used to men's football being good.
Right.
You know, this will be – you look at the 2016 year, the Sermon experiment that went horribly wrong. From 2014, you've got 10 wins, 9 wins, 6 wins, 9 wins. For the last 4 years, you've won 9 or more. I've sort of reached a point where I expect to win in football. Now, I believe there'll be rebuilding years, obviously, but this isn't one of them. But for men's basketball, Brandon, it's been so long. It's been so long with that team. And I love men's basketball. I was at State during the Final Four year. You asked me the other day when you were on the B&B show who's my favorite athlete of all time at MSU. It's Dante Jones. I'm ready to see that team be really good and push for an SEC championship. I'm ready for the hump to be the hump again. I'm excited for men's basketball.
That sound you hear is me stifling a hump joke. So I just want to show.
Yeah, I thought it too. Don't feel bad.
Okay. All right. I went ahead and put that one in my pocket. I'll keep that one for my new show. Hey, Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. That'll be where we take this show. Now, since you're here, 2 minutes.
Brandon, you're what the Spaniards call El Terrible.
2-minute drill just for you. It's going to be a very quick 2-minute drill. Answer as quickly as possible. And it's the 1980s music edition just for you. All 5 questions, 1980s music. Are you ready?
All right. Sure.
Number 1, best Guns N' Roses song. Thank you for answering as quickly as possible.
Well, that's a tough question. I'm going to go Welcome to the Jungle. I feel like it's the easy answer, but everybody loves that song.
Welcome to the Jungle. What's the one? It's Sweet Child of Mine, right? With a long intro. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Number 2, best Bon Jovi song.
The best Bon Jovi song is Wanted Dead or Alive.
That is correct. That is the correct opinion. I would have also taken I'll Be There For You, but Wanted Dead or Alive is correct.
Yeah, I'm not going power ballad there now.
Number 3, I still like it. I'm sorry. I like to yell it in the car. Number 3, best one-hit wonder from the 80s. And I'll give you time to think about this. You can think about what the best one-hit wonder is from the 80s, unless you're ready.
There are so many.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen.
I figured you would. I think Cannizzaro knew a girl named Eileen. No, I'm not.
Stop with that, no.
Okay, sorry.
Don't.
Sorry. My bad. Number 4. Number 4, Michael Jackson or Prince? Prince all day. That was easy for you.
Yeah.
I love both. I would go Michael Jackson.
I love Michael Jackson, don't get me wrong, but you told me to pick.
Both are incredible.
If I could bring one back to life for a concert, I'm going to go with Prince.
It would be really mean if you could bring one back to life and you didn't go ahead and bring both back to life. That would just be mean. I mean, you obviously have.
Well, I don't know how these powers work in this scenario, but if I can only pick one, that's the one I'm picking.
All right, last question. What's the better song from 1989? Is it Bad English's When I See You Smile, Chicago's Look Away, or Fine Young Cannibals' She Drives Me Crazy?
That's a fantastic question. One of the best questions I've ever received on the More Cowbell podcast, which is moving from SEC Country to Facebook very soon.
Yes.
And you should, by all means, support that podcast. That said, for me, I'm going to go Fine Young Cannibals.
That's an incredible song. That's a really good song.
It's great. It is a quintessential 80s song. It defines the decade.
If all three came on the radio, I'm screaming all three, but I might scream When I See You Smile by Bad English. I know you just said you don't like the power ballad, but come on. It's Bad English When I See You Smile.
It's a fantastic power ballad. I'm more of a sheriff kind of guy when I want my power ballads, but it's good.
And Chicago's Look Away, great song, depressing as hell. Very
depressing. Plus, I'm sort of, as much as I don't like Van Halen without David Lee Roth, Chicago without Cetera, I don't know.
All right. So that was fun. Good 2-minute drill. Good stuff. When can I be on the B&B show again?
Tomorrow? So Friday's show?
Probably. Text me.
All right, we'll do.
Okay, that's Brian Haydad. Hey, man, thanks for being here. Oh, I guess okay, there we go. I was going to talk about Schlossnagel. We've run over time. We've gone over time. I've talked about Schlossnagel plenty, so we're going to skip right to the main event of the show. We're going to skip right to a shot of Jack Crystal, the greatest to ever do it, the greatest play-by-play announcer in college football history. I don't care about the guy at Georgia or Tennessee or Kentucky, wherever. For 55 years, Mississippi State, the best part of Mississippi State sports was Jack Crystal. He was an incredible person, incredible man, incredible announcer, and I like to celebrate him on this show occasionally. So today, even though we've kind of run through these clips before, with this show going off at the end of June, I want to go through them again. We're going to do it all June. So I've got 4 clips, and we're going to start today with clip number 1.
2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs from the 37-yard line. Pressure's on. Bulldogs give it to Norwood, who breaks it inside the 30 to the 25 to the 20. He's racing to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Norwood. Unbelievable. There's a flag down in the end zone. If they call a celebration penalty on this, I'll shoot them.
2004, Mississippi State playing Florida. That is kind of double the Jack Crystal. Not only is it a quintessential call of Jarius Norwood with a 37-yard touchdown run, not only is it Jack Crystal calling a huge moment when State beat Florida, nobody expected it to happen, it also has the added bonus of having a quintessential, a classic, a vintage Jack Crystal one-liner at the end when he said, if they call celebration penalty on this, I'll shoot them. This has been after 3 and 4 years of Mississippi State just absolutely being the bottom of the barrel in football. We beat a ranked team. He's feeling it. And if they call celebration on Mississippi State, it's going to get real. I love that. That might be my favorite Jack Crystal clip there ever was. That might be my favorite Jack Crystal clip of all time. But we've got 3 more. Go with clip number 2.
They got a 4th down to the 25. They're on the far side hash mark. And Chaz Henry, who is a veteran kicker, but not in the place kicking department. He has been their punter, but he's been forced to be the place kicker. He'll try a 42-yard field goal.
42-yard field goal up coming from Henry, and his kick is away, and he is no good. No good. 4 seconds left in this ball game. No good. Henry misses his 2nd field goal of the night, kicking it off to the right. And you can wrap this one in maroon and white, my friends. Mississippi State has upset the Florida Gators 10-7 with 4 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Mississippi State, 2010, I believe, goes down to the Swamp, goes down to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, beats Florida 10-7. I don't like to celebrate anything that Dan Mullen did on the Jack Crystal thing, but I do like to say that, hey, we beat Florida then, we're going to beat them this year. It's coming. It's coming, Florida Gators. Clip number 3.
Michigan's gone to a 4-man front now as Ralph wants to throw on 1st down. He looks, he throws out of the backfield, completes it to Ladarius Perkins at the 20 to the 25, breaks a tackle to the 40, gets a block all the way down to the 40 to the 30. 2 men are chasing him. They're going to catch him at the 10, drop him at the 5. He fumbles it out of the rear of the end zone.
But he's down. When he fumbled the ball, he hit the turf, and that's when it came out. And Perkins, boy.
Jack Crystal calling the 2011 Gator Bowl, Mississippi State 52, Michigan 14, one of my favorite games I've ever seen. Just absolutely beating the crap out of Michigan. One of Jack Crystal's last football games, might have been his last football game. I've asked this question before. I think it was his last football game. But Mississippi State beats the crap out of Michigan that day, 52-14. Ladarius Perkins with that incredible run down the sidelines, and Mississippi State wins the game. And to wrap up a shot of Jack today, Jack Crystal one more time.
Adrian, a good carry.
Yeah, Adrian Marcus did a good job that time. He had to get a little extra push, and Mississippi State won't give up the football. And you know they're just going to run the clock out, as you mentioned, and they're going to have a very, very satisfying end of the ball game. It's going to be quite a celebration by the Mississippi State bunch.
Cowbells have been ringing throughout the day and continue to do so. They're dancing in the streets in Starkville, not to mention Clarksdale and Biloxi and Vicksburg and some of the other cities.
Just an outstanding effort. Just after a first quarter that was anybody's ball game, the Bulldogs have dominated the final 3 quarters of this one.
Russell hands it off again, and the plunge is straight ahead, and it's going to result in a gain of about 4 or 5 yards, and that should be the last play of the ball game. It's going to be. That's it. There's not going to be another play run. You can wrap this one, my friend, in maroon and white.
Wrap it in maroon and white. Jack Crystal wrapping up a huge victory over Michigan. I love that clip, too. It was a little long. But I don't care. It's Jack Crystal. I sit here all day. And you could sit here all day and listen to it, too. Jack Crystal, the greatest to ever do it. I love doing that tribute. I'm going to keep doing that tribute on my new show. Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. Hey, podcast listeners, I'm going to drop you off here. But before I drop you off, get my graphic up on the screen. Patreon.com. Patreon is where I've kind of turned. I need your help as I try to go out in business for myself, as I try to launch this podcast on my own. I need cameras. I need equipment. I need other stuff. Patreon.com is where you can sign up to help me. Please help keep More Cowbell going. I ask if you can give $1, please. I'll take $1, $5, $10. It doesn't matter. I haven't set a number. I just ask for your help because I do this because I love it. You guys seem to like it too. Please help me keep it going and help me stay on the air. That's More Cowbell for Wednesday. That's the podcast. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here. My name is Brandon Walker. We're going to stay on Facebook Live for about 10 more minutes. My name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast, brought to you for now by SEC Country. All right, what a show. That was a good show. That was one of our best shows in a while. Usually I just mail this crap in, but today we were fired up. Jack Crystal clips always get me going. I could listen to Jack Crystal clips. I seriously, I think there's 37 on that page that's on sixpack.com. I believe I could sit here and listen to all 37 and be just as happy. Ethan Fleury says, is Schlossnagel coming? Hold your horses there, Ethan. I think he is, but I don't think Cohen's going to announce it until Monday. That's what I think. Jack made us a winner when the score said otherwise, as Billy Sutherland. Here is what I like. Here's a comment I agree with. State football during Jack Crystal's tenure was never all that good. State basketball came up and down. He didn't do baseball much, at least until when Jim Ellis came around, he did baseball. I don't know if Jack did it before. But state athletics under Jack Crystal weren't always that good. But if I was a state fan, I could say we have the very best behind that mic. He was the best thing about Mississippi State sports. Year in, year out, he was incredible. Jay Hammer says, I could listen to all 37 and keep them on repeat and it would never get old. I agree. I agree with that. So what would you guys like to talk about? I'm going to lunch today with Christopher Smith, so I don't know what we're going to eat. So I don't know. I have no lunch discussion for you. Maybe you could get space in the new Communiversity complex for a studio. If Shannon Davis, yes, SEC Country is shutting down. June 30th, SEC Country goes dark, and I'm looking for a new home. By the way, if you need somebody to do social media or clean your toilets, I'm your man. Favorite Jack Crystal quote, the Sonic drive of the game will be my drive from Starkville to Tupelo, says David Perry. Yes. I believe that was the Alabama game in 2003. I'm almost certain it was. Jared Mansour, I love Meridian. That's my answer to that question. I'm a big Meridian guy. Go Wildcats. Go Wildcats. Certainly one of the top 20 programs in the state of Mississippi history in high school football. I'm going to be singing She Drives Me Crazy all day now. Bonnie Williamson Gable. I love She Drives Me Crazy by the Fine Young Cannibals. I love When I See You Smile by Bad English. I left off a 1989 song. I didn't even put We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel, which also came out in 1989. 1989 is a sneaky good year for music. Sue Carroll Trantham says, why are they shutting down? Great question. Nobody here knows the answer. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's not for me to decide. It's not my decision to make. So somebody else made it, and I just have to deal with it. Rain is in the forecast for Tallahassee this weekend. Toby Denton, rain's in the forecast. This spring, rain's been in the forecast every day, everywhere. It has been a rainy spring, so if it rains, it rains. What are you going to do? The best one-hit wonder is Ran by Flock of Seagulls. Didn't they have more than one hit? Who are the 80s one-hit wonders? Guys, let's talk about that. Give me one-hit wonders from the 80s. I got to think about it. Certainly Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners. That was a definite one-hit wonder. Was Wang Chung Tonight, was that a one-hit wonder? I just got to... Billy Joel is the bomb. Great in concert, says Bill Hurt. Brian Davis says, I look forward to tuning in on the new show. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. That's where the new show will be. Hopefully you've liked that page. If you haven't, you're a bad person. And you have to live with that. Your Love by The Outfield. Berlin, Take My Breath Away. That was really good. Take My Breath Away by Berlin. I like that one. The Outfield. I feel like The Outfield had a couple more hits, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like The Outfield had a couple more hits. Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy. Now, I know he was a jazz musician, but I think that was his only big hit. One-hit wonders from the 80s. One-hit wonders from the 80s. Anybody want to talk to me in there? Y'all want to talk to me? Give the microphone to Nate. I want to talk to Nate on this one. Cutting Crew, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. Yes. Take On Me by Aha. All right. Nate, hi.
Yes.
You're breathing in the mic. It's disgusting. Now, one-hit wonders from the 80s. Do you have any?
I do, actually. The most successful one-hit wonder came from the 80s. This group had a number one hit and never had a top 10 song on the charts again.
Okay, who was it?
It was whoever did the Macarena.
That's in the 90s.
No, actually, it came out in '89.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I just learned it myself about a week ago.
Why don't you Google one-hit wonders from the 80s and give us a couple more, please?
I was going to play a little track for you right here. They're not necessarily a one-hit wonder, but they were never the biggest band.
Now,
Hold on, wait for the drop.
I believe that's Tears for Fears.
You are correct, sir.
That is Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World?
Yep.
That was the Dennis Miller song.
Mm-hmm.
What year was Milli Vanilli popular? 89, 90, around in there. 89 or 90. Tears, that felt good, Nate. Thank you for doing that. You want to do another one?
I got another one.
Give me another one. What's happening right now?
This is some kind of music video.
It's got a high-pitched voice, right? Yeah.
I don't know why he hasn't started singing.
It's a
yet.
long intro.
It's a very long intro.
Sing!
Josie's on a vacation far away.
Boy, I just wanted him to sing. Everybody on the Facebook here is telling me that Macarena was definitely released in the 90s. Definitely recorded in the 90s. So you've got beef there. What are we doing right now? Are we doing anything, or we're just having fun?
We're having a good time.
We're having a good time. Having a good time here in the SEC Country Studios. Use Your Love Tonight. That was the name of that. Who was the band there?
The Outfield.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but I still think the Outfield had a few hits. I think they had a couple.
I can't name another one.
They had a hit called Winning It All that made the top 20. It was on Larry Bird's video on NBA Superstars Volume 2, the tape that I had. Best state-inspired ringtone. I need a new one, says Amanda Williams-Yara. Why don't you just use my intro music for your ringtone? How about that? You ever think about that? Just use my Hail State electric guitar for your ringtone. That's what I would do. If you need that, I can email you the file, and therefore you can put it on your phone. Let me know if you would like it, and I will send it to you. All right. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to talk about? We've talked about some one-hit wonders. I guess we could talk about one-hit wonders from the 90s if you would like.
I've got a good one.
Are you going to play it, or am I just going to talk about it?
I could play it.
Well, then play it.
Or is this the 80s?
First of all, that's Rick Astley. He was definitely not a one-hit wonder. He had 3 or 4 hits that sounded just like that. Exactly like it. We'll need a new audio file for the new show. Steve C., I'm getting that worked on. How about Ray Parker Jr. with the Ghostbusters theme? I feel like he was a one-hit wonder.
Well, but he did just rip that off from Huey Lewis, though.
Did he?
Yeah, Huey Lewis won in court, actually.
Did I just get rickrolled, by the way?
Just a little bit.
Is that the only reason you played that?
Just a little. Well, it's a decent song.
You know, it really is. It really is a good song. Yeah, all right. Good stuff. You guys don't seem to be wanting to talk today. Not a lot of talkativeness. Video killed the radio star in 1979. Close enough. Who's saying video killed the radio star? It was dang it. It had a weird name. It was a girl group. Brandon, I'm still not 100% sold on the Schlossnagle hire. Why not, Bobby Richardson? Why are you not sold on a guy that's made 5 College World Series? Why would you not be sold on that? I mean, I'm not getting on to you. I'm not picking at you. What would keep you from being sold on that? Nate, go ahead.
It's really six one half a dozen. You know, Schlossnagle's a great coach.
I don't care about your opinion about that. I care about the band that's saying "Video Killed the Radio Star."
Oh, it's the Buggles.
The Buggles. Thank you very much. I don't care what you think about anything, Nate.
That's why I was confused.
Brandon, you should run for president. Should I run for president? Well, let's think about this. You got to be over 35, right?
You probably got some skeletons in the closet.
So I do. This would be a bad idea. Bad idea. I don't know about sold. I'm just concerned he will back out, says Jay Hammers. Well, Mark Mackey Callahan says Bengals walk like an Egyptian. Well, here's what we ain't going to do, all right? Here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to call the Bengals a one-hit wonder, okay? We're not going to do that. We're not going to besmirch the Bengals on my show. I love you, Mark Mackey Callahan, but we are not going to besmirch the Bengals. Eternal Flame, Walk Like an Egyptian, Manic Monday, didn't they sing that one?
They did.
You know who wrote Manic Monday?
Who?
You don't know who wrote Manic Monday? Prince. Prince wrote Manic Monday.
Okay.
Oh, boy, excuse me. Who is the backup to Schlossnagle? Ethan Fleury, go to the Twisted Burger in either town, says JT Hurst. I'm going to go ahead and give a plug right here. Columbus, West Point, if you're in either of those places, the Twisted Burger is incredible. It's an incredible place to go eat. It has the Brandon Walker seal of approval. Twisted Burger is it's kind of a funky burger joint. Got a lot of SEC stuff on the wall. I think they're in Columbus. I know they're in West Point in the Mossy Oak Mall. Go check out Twisted Burger if you're ever in town. I know if you're coming from Tupelo or Corinth to go to Starkville, it's right there on the right. You barely have to get off the highway. It's in the Mossy Oak Mall. Incredible place, Twisted Burger. Hail State from Toronto, Canada. Hello, Buster Bone. My favorite name that we have here. Although Beaver Peterson is very close. Buster Bone and Beaver Peterson. 12:30, so I guess it's time to get off. JT, you're welcome for that. I will be requiring a free cheeseburger next time I'm in West Point, okay? You can hit me up on Facebook or whatever, but I'm going to need a cheeseburger and some fries. I'm just going to tell you that right now. All right, I see you, Terp. All right, I see you doing your Land Shark impression. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have another guest because I'm just trying to go through guests and giving everybody one last chance to do what they can do on this show. Until next time, thank you for being here. Thank you for making the show great. Please go like Facebook.com/The More Cowbell Show. And if you want to send me some money, go to Patreon.com/More Cowbell. If you want to, great. If you don't, you're a terrible person and I've never liked you. Until next time, my name's Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.